Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Shield Maiden. So grateful that you're all here with me. So thank you for that. Today, I want to chat about rehabbing. Rehabbing a house, a room. Have you ever done that? It is such a mess. Oh my gosh, such a mess. I was fortunate enough to grow up with a dad who did construction, and he's a master at it. Like, my parents live in a house that my dad built himself from the ground up, and it is beautiful and perfect and amazing in so many ways. So growing up, I had this really cool guy who could fix anything, whether it was something at the house or on a car. He was just a master at fixing things and figuring it out. But even better yet, though, rather than just automatically fix things for us, he made sure we learned how to do it too. He knew that to truly be independent, you had to learn how to fix things, how to figure out and problem solve so you could rebuild what was broken. I even at one point rehabbed a house myself. It was a mess. And if you've ever rehabbed, you know it can be really dirty and exhausting and smelly and so many things. It was a house built in 1942 that had never really been truly updated or worked done on it correctly since it had been built. So I had to pull out stinky, smelly pipes from dishwashers that didn't work, and we had to move electrical and bring things up to code. And an old window that was beautiful had been covered up by poor workmanship. And I was able to uncover that and really let the light come through. But that was probably the biggest job of that rehab project was, ripping all these old cabinets out and this old ugly backsplash that covered up this beautiful window that was once there. And although it was exhausting, I had my days of tears thinking, what am I doing? I can't afford this. This is costing me more than I planned or more than I ever dreamed, even though I had a budget that was really a good budget, and it was well thought out because I knew what a lot of construction costs growing up in a construction family. But, things just piled up and piled up, even past my contingency. So it was heartbreaking and backbreaking at the same time. But then when it was all done, it was this amazing, beautiful home that I had to sell. And when I sold it to someone else, I knew I had done it right. And I could lay my head on my pillow at night feeling good about the workmanship that went into the home and how I paid attention to things that really mattered long term rather than just a pretty countertop or something that made it look nice without making sure it was a safe home and a good home for whomever lived there. So I felt really good about that. But what's interesting is what my dad taught me as a girl who owns her own circular saw and drill and other tools, right? Is that independence of learning how to problem solve and deal with problems and fix them and understand that they are fixable, and very few things have to be scrapped completely. I didn't have to tear down that entire house. I didn't have to start from complete scratch. There was a beautiful window waiting to be seen, waiting to let the light come in and completely change the house the moment I opened that window up. Our lives are kind of like that too. Sometimes we feel like we've just screwed up so badly that we need to just chuck it all. But you don't. It's worth completely salvaging. You have to problem solve. And just like with that house, I had to take it one step at a time. I couldn't put the paint on in the kitchen until I replastered the walls. And replastering the walls was a lot of hard work, and it's messy and just exhausting work. But I had to do that before I could get to the pretty part where I felt really good about it, or before I'd even show it to anyone else, before I was ready to share that home with anyone else to see it. Sometimes we have to put in that dirty work. When we're in the middle of rehabbing ourselves, our souls, our dreams, our goals, sometimes it gets pretty ugly. Sometimes it gets pretty smelly. Sometimes it's heartbreaking. Sometimes it's backbreaking. But it's all worth salvaging. And in the end, you see this beautiful end product that lets the light shine in. The light that was already there, waiting to come in, but was just blocked until you put in the work. So go put in the work for your dream. Go put in the work for a healthy home, a healthy, happy family, a healthy, happy life. Let the sun come into that. But don't be afraid to get dirty. Don't be afraid of the smelly stuff, the icky stuff, the hard part to get there because it's worth it and you are worth it. Go live your dream. I'll see you next week.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.